Folks, I got a viewer that asked me to make a video on what I do to prepare for a hurricane. Well, living here in Florida, I have been through many hurricanes and I stay prepared. It's not something that I do at the last minute. I just live prepared for one. So let me show you what one of the things I do is hoard food. That's the first thing, is hoard food and water. Okay? Buy stuff that, these are Rice Krispie treats. You can eat Rice Krispie treats. They don't have to be cooked. They don't have to be frozen. They don't have to be refrigerated. Hoard stuff. Potato chips. Here's potato chips. Stuff, you know, stuff like that. Hoard stuff. There's four sodas, 4 Sprites. There's 7-Up, Sprite down there. I got 4 cases of water right here. There's a ton of 7-Ups down there, or Sprites. In here is loads of canned foods. More Sprite, as you can see down here in the corner. Moving right on around. Now this is just an example of stocking up on canned goods. Okay, there's none over there. Okay, stuff that you don't have to cook. Stuff you can eat cold. Soup, fruit cocktail, beans, corned beef hash, and lots of puddings. Food. Some of these things have to be prepared, but that's okay because I have a propane grill. Okay, now look at all these soups, all these canned goods. You want to stock up on canned goods. Things that are non-perishable. Soups, pickles, just whatever. Anything. Stock up. Stock up on foods. You're going to need food. You're going to need enough food for about 3 days at the least. Peanuts are a great form of protein. There's about 10 cans of peanuts right there. You want to make sure that you've got plenty of beer if you drink beer, or liquor if you drink liquor, because these stores are going to be closed. If you get hit hard, there's not going to be electricity. I have a generator. I'll show you that here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 extra cans of propane. There's a 5-gallon water container right there also, and there's a generator. One of the very important things that you want to do is you want to have all your important paperwork and medications together in case you have to run out. Here is all my important paperwork that I can't do without. So that goes in the car with me if I have to evacuate, and bag of medications that's ready to go right there, right by the door. Folks, let me clarify. This food is not special for hurricanes. Okay, it's food that you eat every day. And I rotate, you know, I keep it in stock. When I eat a can of beans, I buy a can of beans. When I eat a can of peas, I go buy another can of peas. I make sure that I keep stocked in of everything I have. You know what I'm saying? Don't just let it sit there and go bad. Because tomato paste, chopped tomatoes and things will go bad in the can. It'll start tasting like the can. The acid in the tomatoes will make it taste like the can or something. Anyway, you got to rotate your food stock and keep it fresh. And that's what I do. Pop-Tarts are a great thing also in case of a hurricane. Let me show you some more. Make sure you have plenty of propane cylinders, small and large, whatever size that your camping gear takes. Get those small ones also. And gasoline for your generator. Okay. I have 4 5-gallon cans down here, and I got another 6-gallon can up there. Fill every single one of them with gasoline. I can't express that enough. Fill them all with gasoline. Fill your vehicles. Every vehicle you have, fill it with gas. Every gas container you have, fill it with gas. gas stations may be down without no electricity, and you won't be able to get gas. Here where I live, the gasoline comes in on barges through the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of times when there's a storm in the Gulf of Mexico, that shuts down, so gas is scarce. The gas stations will run out of gas because the boats haven't been able to bring more. Okay. If it happens to be cold, there's a Mr. Buddy heater that runs off of propane. Well, filling your bathtub, I'll just tell you one of the things. Filling your bathtub up with water is a great idea. Now, I wouldn't use it to drink, but you can boil it and use it for cooking if you have to, and you can use it for washing. But if something happens and you don't have water service, you need to have a good supply of water. And that's one of the ways that you can save water, is to fill up all your bathtubs in your house. And you can also use that bathtub water to flush your toilets. If you need to take a crap in your toilet, you've got that one tank in there, okay? And if you don't have water service, if your water gets turned off because of an uprooted tree, it breaks the water line, you ain't got no water to your toilet. You can take a crap in your toilet, and you can take a pan or a bucket of water out of your bathtub and dump it down the toilet bowl, and it'll flush all the crap down out of your toilet. One more thing, folks. That air conditioner, if the power goes out, it's not going to work. So I have a small window unit that will run off that generator that I can put in the window to cool myself if I am able to, if I have to. That generator is strong enough to run the air conditioner and the freezer. So whatever I have in my refrigerators and freezers, it will stay cool. And if I think of some more things, I'll let you know. Anything for camping, any kind of camping supplies is great to have in case of a hurricane, because if you get hit hard, most likely you're going to be camping. You're not going to have electricity. You're not going to have the comforts of life or the comforts of home, because maybe your home, for instance, the last one that I went through, the roof was taken away, and the water came in, and the walls were full of mold, and actually there was insulation and sheetrock all over the inside of the house where the ceilings caved in. So everything in the attic was pretty much in the house, including the insulation and all the mold. So the house was unlivable. I had to live in the yard until I could be moved into another home. So anything for camping is good to have. Camping supplies, lanterns, camping stoves, sleeping bags, tents, lawn chairs, just anything for camping. Candles work great. Ways to cook, just whatever you think you might take camping, that's good for a hurricane. One of the things I forgot about is I've done this a long time ago. My sheds in my backyard, this is metal strapping, and there's anchors in the ground, and I got that on both sides. These metal straps are holding this shed to the ground, and the other shed also. Ladders, stuff like this, you want to lay it down flat on the ground in there. I would lean it against the wall, laying it down. Don't leave it up like this. Also, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of bug spray, mosquito repellent or whatever, in case your home is not livable after the storm. You want to also have a tent or a tarp or something you can make temporary shelter out of. Your garbage. When you know a storm is going to hit you, go ahead and remove all the garbage from your house as soon as possible, because after the storm you may not have garbage service, and you don't want that smell or stink, and you just don't want garbage to be building up. So go ahead and get rid of all your garbage ahead of the storm. What else? I'll come back as I think of stuff. Stay tuned. Folks, bird feeders need to come down. If you got any bird feeders hanging out, anything outside that could potentially become a projectile in high winds, secure it. You want to make sure you're stocked up on batteries for any flashlights or any other devices that you may have. Cell phone, get your cell phone charged up. Have chargers and things like that in the car already in case you need to evacuate real fast. You've got a phone charger with you in your vehicle. Folks, clean clothes. You want to go ahead and do all your laundry before the storm hits, because if you do not have electricity, you do not do laundry. So go ahead and clean all your clothes as possible. You have to think. Bullets. Okay, folks, stock up on bullets, because you may have a looting situation to where you need to protect yourself in your home. So if you have any firearms, go ahead and stock up on bullets. If you have any pets, you want to make sure you're stocked up on food and medications for your pets if your pets are on medication. But if you got a cat, get plenty of cat food in the can, because the dry food, if it gets wet or moist, it's no good. Okay, if your roof falls in and your bag, the dry food gets wet, no good. Canned foods, if your dog doesn't eat canned foods, too bad. He'll get to liking it. And once you give him a couple days of being hungry, he'll like it. Stock up on foods for your pets. A good weather radio, AM, FM radio with a weather band would be great. That runs off batteries. Different types of tarps, different sizes of tarps are also good to keep on hand, because if a tree limb goes through your roof, you're going to need to get up there and patch that to keep rain and stuff out. So tie lines, rope, tarps, duct tape, things like that you will need to use to make emergency home repairs. Also, go through your calendar, and if you have any appointments like doctor's appointments or dentist's appointments, cancel those. Okay, so you don't get charged for them anyway, because a lot of times if people don't show up to their appointments, they get charged for it anyway. So if you have an appointment that is going to coincide with the time that the hurricane is supposed to hit, reschedule your appointment to a later date. Focus. Part of my hurricane plan, folks, is planning on what to do inside the home if I'm here and I can't get out. Like last time, there were tornadoes everywhere, and one of the tornadoes came across the property I was on and took my roof off. Well, I turned my couch over upside down and crawled underneath the space under there. And that's why I rode out the worst of the storm, is someplace safe, okay? You have to determine where the safest place in your house is if you have to stay there, okay? Preferably, it's best to evacuate to a different area, a different place where the hurricane's not hitting. But if you have to stay, decide the safest place in your house is usually an interior room, bathroom, or something with lots of walls and framing around it. A bathroom, something away from a window. But for me, it just happened to be turn the couch over upside down and get under it. That's something to have to take into consideration, folks. A safe place. It's also the perfect time to clean your gutters and trim back any limbs that are hitting your house, because that wind is going to get really strong, and those limbs are going to be banging back and forth against your house. If you got limbs that are touching your house or have grown too much, cut them back. Okay, clear those gutters out. You're going to have a lot of rain. You're going to need it to go somewhere. So make sure those leaves are out of the gutters and the gutters are working good is a must. And lawn furniture, tie it up. Tie it to something or put it somewhere. Lay it down flat. Preferably tie it to something. I have plenty of water tanks to store water in. The boat is hooked up to the vehicle. In case I have to evacuate, I'm taking this boat with me. I'm not leaving it here. Okay, camping gear. Here's a lantern. And down in here is a camping stove that run off of small propane bottles. Right there I have light and cooking. Right here I have another way to cook. I've got a bottle of gas hooked up to that.